Welcome everyone to the Minnesota ACAC Virtual College Fair. We're all very excited you're participating in this event today. We have two fantastic schools with us today. My name is Greg. I'll be your facilitator. And before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping items. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button, that black button that you see on your screen, to type your questions to our presenters at any time, and it'll be up to them whether they handle those questions one at a time or maybe at the end of their presentation. As a reminder, this is just one of many different sessions happening today. Be sure to check out the schedule on the website. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Minnesota. And I'll drop that address into the chat that you can take a look at that. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, Scott from Minnesota State University. Take it away.
Hey everybody, my name is Scott Westby. I work with Minnesota State University Moorhead in the admissions office, and I'm glad that you all could join us today. I also want to allow my co-presenter to introduce herself, so I'll pass it over to her.
Thank you, Scott. Hello, everyone. My name is Ia. I am the admission counselor at St. Cloud State University for the undergraduate office.
All right, and we are representing 2 of the 7 Minnesota State public universities. So this is the panel for your 4-year options. As you may know, the Minnesota State system covers many public 2-year and 4-year universities, but this session is going to speak to that 4-year experience. We will present a little bit about each one of our schools, but in general, we want to answer any questions that you might have about being a student at a 4-year university within the Minnesota State system. In case you're curious what those 7 universities are, they include our 2 universities, Minnesota State University Moorhead, St. Cloud State University. There's also Metropolitan State University down in the Twin Cities, Southwest Minnesota State University, which is in Marshall, Southwest Minnesota. There's Minnesota State University Mankato. There's Winona State University down in the southeast corner, and there is Bemidji State University up north. And I think I hit them all. Did I hit them all? I think I hit them all. So those are the 7 4-year universities that make up Minnesota State. Now, one good thing to be aware of is the difference between Minnesota State and the University of Minnesota system, because they are different systems. The University of Minnesota system is University of Minnesota, Twin Cities campus, Rochester, Crookston, Morris, and Duluth. Almost forgot that one. They are a separate governing entity for their universities. They're all state universities, as are we. There's just a little bit of a difference in the governing bodies within them. So just in case you were ever confused by those two, that is kind of the difference between them. Now, a couple things that Ia and I want to quickly go over is just some of the benefits of attending a Minnesota State 4-year institution, one of which being low tuition rates. As you may know, a public school has generally lower tuition rates than some of the private schools you're looking at, or some out-of-state public schools that you may be looking into. And so if you're a Minnesota resident, or even a lot of Wisconsinites or North Dakotans, you should be able to get that in-state tuition rate, which can keep costs low. And obviously, it's very important to keep costs low as much as possible on that 4-year journey toward an education. Another thing to keep in mind is what I term transferability of credits. I'm sure Ia would agree, but a lot of the 4-year institutions within MnState are very what I call transfer friendly, meaning we should be able to take a lot of the incoming credits that you may be taking right now in high school. For example, if you're a student in the St. Cloud area and you're taking credits through St. Cloud Tech, the 2-year school in St. Cloud, odds are those credits should transfer not only to St. Cloud State, but even MSUM or Mankato, etc. Because we're state schools, we need to have that transferability of credit available. So that is certainly another benefit to Minnesota State institutions. And then one last one that I can think of, and I'll allow Ia to fill in on any others that I'm missing, is support services. Between these state universities, we know that we are not 30 or 40,000 students per institution. At MSUM, it's about 5,500. And so that smaller number means you can get a little bit more support. I would imagine the same could be said about St. Cloud and all of our other institutions here. So if you're looking for a four-year university that still has tons of opportunities to get involved, but a little bit more singular support or personalized attention, that's one nice thing about these four-year universities within the mid-state system. So those are three quick benefits that I like to mention when students ask about why a mid-state university. I'll allow my partner to join in on anything that I may have missed as far as other benefits of attending mid-state institutions. Am I missing anything?
Yeah, just to go a little bit more on that, about 30 to 59% of students actually graduate with either no debt at all. And about a good chunk, about 70% of our students that go into state university actually receive financial aid as well. So if you're worried about, how much does college cost, because it can be expensive and you are definitely investing your time in the next 4 years getting a degree or an education field as you will. I always think it's important to know that even though we may or not be private schools, but we do definitely offer over 3,000 different type of academic programs that you can choose from, as well as over 800 online programs as well. We also offer a lot of hands-on experience. I'm sure that at MSU, they have a lot of internships and opportunities given there as well, research opportunities, hands-on experience that you can definitely gain just by attending at our state university-wise. Definitely something to really think about as what we have to offer as state universities and what we're here for too. We definitely, feel like if you feel like, oh, you're not sure, we do offer a lot of world-class education. We want to make sure that, and some universities still offers education abroad programs as well too. As you can see from my lovely background, this is actually one of our most popular education abroad program as well too. And so if you're ever thinking about studying abroad, we definitely, have those opportunities for our students.
Yeah, I think she mentioned a few other great things there. Her background's a little prettier than mine. It's a bunch of dragon stuff, but that's a great example of while you're going to, if you're a Minnesota student, maybe you're staying in state for the bulk of your education, look at England as an option for a study abroad program. Like, don't let a local college mean that you have to stay local. Like, look at opportunities for internships over the summer or study abroad opportunities. We are local schools, but we can have a global perspective in different ways. So I think that's one good thing to always keep in mind there. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I think what we'll do is we will dive into a little bit more information about our specific institutions. Before we do, I just want to remind you, if you have questions, utilize that Q&A feature. We would be happy to answer any questions that you might have, whether out loud verbally, or we can get into the Q&A and we can maybe type some responses to you as well. But with all that said, I will share my screen so that you can learn a little bit about MSUM specifically. So hopefully you're able to see my slides here. Please let us know in the chat or the Q&A if you can't see them. But I'll give you a little bit of information about MSUM. Not going to go too in-depth. If you want the in-depth thing, come visit campus for sure. But I want to give you a little bit of an overview, right? All right, so to MSUM's end. MSUM is about 5,500 students, mentioned that earlier. So that's like a small to medium size for relative to other Minnesota schools. What that means is average class size is about 18 students. So you're not going to be in lecture halls of 200 kids or anything like that. So if you're looking for a smaller environment, that's kind of what we have to offer. And then all of our courses are taught by faculty members. We do have graduate students at MSUM, but they do not teach any of our courses. All of our experts in their field, so to speak, do. As far as programs go, there are 74 different majors that you could pursue at MSUM. I kind of break them up into very popular programs. And what I mean by that is they're very popular at MSUM, but they could also be very popular at other four-year institutions as well. But then we also have some unique programs that we know not every other four-year school has. So if part of the reason you might be looking at staying in state is because, hey, I want a speech pathology program. Well, MSUM has one of those. or we have a film production program, which is somewhat unique. So like I said, mix of popular and unique. And one thing I always like to mention, and I'm sure our presenters would say the same thing too, don't feel like you have to have it all figured out right away as far as your major. Y'all are 17, 18 years old. We don't expect you to have life figured out right now. So if you're undecided on a major, don't worry about that. We'll help you through the process. That said, if you have a major that you're considering, go on our websites, find information about those majors, and then reach out to our offices if you want to learn more about them, because you should explore anything that you're feeling pretty strongly about, right? Now, no matter what major you pick, there is going to be some form of experiential learning built into it. This is the big thing that MSUM tries to do. We try to get you outside the lecture hall as much as possible, because we know you can't learn everything from a lecture hall, right? So you need to have some hands-on experiences, whether that's research that you're doing on campus. If you're somebody in the sciences, you'll probably be doing some research on our campus. We do a lot of internships or job shadowings for those in business related fields, or even those in the medical field. Like we have a lot of pre-med majors. Let's try to get you some job shadowings or some clinical experiences in Sanford or Essentia hospitals in town. That can be really helpful. We have study abroad programs. If, like I was saying, if you're a local student, don't let that mean you have to stay in Minnesota your whole time. Look outside of that. We have pretty popular study abroad programs in Europe or Australia. That could be something you look into. And then finally, try college university. There are 5 colleges in Fargo-Moorhead. So if you're enrolled at any one of the 5, you can actually take up to 1 class each semester at any of the other 4 schools in town, which is kind of a cool little perk for Fargo-Moorhead area students. It gives you more options than what just MSUM or another local school has to offer. So all of those center around that experiential learning, just trying to get that hands-on application of the theoretical stuff you're learning in the classroom, right? All right, I'm about halfway through, so just a reminder, if you have questions, throw them in the Q&A. Outside of that, we also have student life opportunities. Of course, living on campus that very first year is a great way to get involved and meet people. I know that sounds cliche, but it is true. That's how you're going to enjoy your college experience. Part of that is also student organizations. If there are things that you're doing right now in high school, you can very likely continue those in different ways in college. But you should also try out new things too, whether that's Greek life opportunities, faith-based groups, common interest groups, or even that top left picture there. That is a silly homecoming tradition that we do every year called Battleship H2O, in which you get in canoes in the pool and you try to drown out the other canoes in the pool before they drown you out. I have no idea why we do it, but it's a silly little homecoming tradition that most colleges have. So, stuff like that is representative of the fact that you're making your own fun. College is what you make it, right? So take advantage of that, get involved in student organizations. If you're somebody that really wants to get involved in like band or choir, you should definitely pursue those, theater, what have you. There is also athletic opportunities. We are in the Division II Northern Sun Conference, as are St. Cloud and Winona and Mankato and our other partner institutions. So if you're being recruited by a coach right now, that's great. If not, let us know. We can get you contact information for coaches. But students can also do club sports or intramural leagues, on our campus, just you and your friends having fun too. So lots of different ways to pursue athletics in different ways. Last couple things before I wrap up, just give you some cost numbers. I believe all of our attendees, I'm guessing, are from the Minnesota area. So this is what we were talking about earlier with that in-state tuition rate, keeping those costs low, right? So 1 year's worth of education, or of tuition, I should say, at MSUM is about $8,500. So trying to keep those costs low as much as possible with that in-state rate. That is definitely one of the benefits of attending a min-state 4-year institution. You can also see housing and meals listed there, as well as some fees. So your first year total, if you're living on campus, could be around $20,000 a year. Or if you don't live on campus after your first year, then you could see tuition and fees would be about $9,800 or $9,900 per year. So again, we're min-state university. We're trying to keep costs low as much as possible. And then with that comes some scholarship opportunities, how to help pay for that, right? MSUM, we're not requiring ACT scores for scholarships or admission anymore, but if you're doing well on the ACT, we will still let it help you. So as you can see here, our automatic scholarships for freshmen are going to be based on either GPA or ACT. So if you happen to know either one of those numbers for yourself, you can take a look at it on this list, kind of scroll your finger across the screen and see what automatic scholarships that you would receive, meaning you don't apply for this, we just have it waiting for you, so to speak. Every institution on the screen today is going to have something similar to this. So make sure when you're visiting schools, you're asking about automatic scholarships and how that works in regards to your GPA or ACT. Finally, just the admission requirements for MSUM. As long as you meet one of these three criteria, you'll get admitted to MSUM if you have a 3.0 high school GPA, or you're in the top half of your class rank, or you get a 21 or above on the ACT. You'll be automatically admitted. Again, one of the three criteria, not all three. And then once you're admitted, that's when you take care of next steps, things like scholarship applications, this thing called the FAFSA, which we can definitely talk more about a little later if you want, housing applications. And just be aware, like, none of that commits you to MSUM or most colleges that you're looking at. You're kind of filling those out just in case you choose those schools later. So don't feel like it's like, boxing you in necessarily, unless that college does tell you differently. Just make sure you're asking that admissions office. At least for MSUM, the way that you'll quote unquote commit to us is by signing up for this thing called SOAR, which stands for Student Orientation, Advising, and Registration. That's where you'll come back to campus, sit down with an advisor, and actually sign up for classes. Most students aren't doing that until they're not like signing up for that day until March, April, May. So don't rush it. You do have plenty of time. But what you should do right now is come visit schools, right? Not only MSUM, but any school that you're looking at. Visiting a college is the best way to do that. So I'm sure we'll talk more about that as we're wrapping up a little bit later, is just what should you know now? Go visit and go apply. But I always like to mention that. So that's my MSUM information. I will turn it over to my partner in St. Cloud to present a little bit of information about that university.
Thank you so much, Scott. Okay, give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna pull up my PowerPoint here. Okay.
And once again, just a reminder, if you do have any questions, you can send them in to us via that Q&A. It could be about any institution specifically or more generally.
Let's see. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Scott. Really learned a lot from your university as well. So for those who may be familiar with St. Cloud or first time hear about St. Cloud, we are located in the St. Cloud area, about an hour away from the Twin Cities. We are a mid-sized institution. We actually have about 12,000 students enrolled, and we actually have 3 campuses. So one in St. Cloud, one at Plymouth, and our other St. Cloud campus, which is at Anwick, England, excuse me there. So it is this picture that's behind me. It is a St. Cloud campus. If you ever go on Google Earth, you'll actually be able to see a little St. Cloud flag. Now we offer about 35 different education abroad programs, kind of like what Scott mentioned. It's definitely a great opportunity for you to go and explore just outside to see if that is something that you want to do and learn more about. Now we offer about short-term and long-term. Our short-term are typically run during breaks. They run like winter break, summer, or spring break. Now, for the long term, it's typically going to be for 1 semester to a year long, where you're actually going to be studying and going to the university there of your choice. Now, the really fun thing about the short term that I really love about it is that you actually take the courses during the semester here on our campus, and then halfway through, they actually prepare you when you go on your breaks. Now, we also offer first year opportunity, meaning you don't have to wait for that 4th year or your 2nd year. We actually give first year student opportunities to go and study abroad. So your first year might not be on campus. It could be at one of our 4 first year opportunities, which is either in England, Australia, Malaysia, or South Africa. There we go. And so with that, we do have over 200 undergraduate program. And if you want to continue on with your education as well, we do have over 50 plus graduate programs. Now, some of our top enrolled programs at the moment is nursing, education, business, engineering, and psychology. So if that's an area that you're interested in going into, we do have those unique programs that you may want to go and check out, maybe something that you're thinking about going into and you're not really sure what school has it. Definitely always check out to see what kind of unique programs that each university has to offer. So some of our unique programs that we offer to our students is real estate, software engineer, information system, radio technology, mass communication, and meteorology wise. Our average class size is about 18 students to a classroom. So you really get to have that small classroom size setting so that you can build this rapport with your professors. Now, 95% of our professors actually hold a PhD or a master's degree where they're going to be teaching that course, while the graduate assistants, they're going to be more doing the research wise. If you're interested in joining any clubs or being involved on campus, we have over 250 student-led organization as well. We have a wide range from sorority to business club, marketing, social work association. We have a horseback riding club, a rowing club. We even once had a Netflix club as well too. So a great way for you again to maybe join other clubs or again join new clubs that you may have never entered in as. So most of our time, our students are going to be full-time credit-wise, and 39% of our students are going to be part-time. We're also D2, we actually have 14 D2 sports and D1 sports. Our D1 will be our hockey men and women's, and D2 would be more of soccer, basketball wise, volleyball, track and field as well too. So you get that wide variety of being able to actually choose. We also have club sports and intramural programs as well too. Our intramurals actually host tournaments on campus and leagues as well. Last year, we actually just opened an esports lounge. So if you're into gaming or wanting to just participate for fun, we do host esports tournaments here on campus. Now, what is our cost of attendance? So per year is going to be at $20,596, and that includes tuition, housing and meal plan, and books and supplies. So here at St. Cloud State, we actually offer a flat rate tuition. Just means that as a full-time credit student, which is about 12 credits, you can take as much credit as you want, which is going to be 18 credits, and you're paying a flat rate cost. So instead of paying by per class, you're just now paying a flat rate, and you can take as much credit as a full-time student. Books and supplies and meal plan, those are just actually our highest estimation cost, so depending on what you choose from. So I always say check out what kind of options each school, university may have, whether it's required to live on campus or not. At our university, we do require our students to live first year on campus, and then afterwards you can feel free to either stay on campus or live off campus as well. We do offer scholarship opportunities as well. We have our presidential scholarship more geared toward our first year students. You do however need to be in the top 30% of your class, have a 3.3 GPA, or score a 23 on your ACT. Now, our admission at St. Cloud State is that if you have a 3.0 GPA or higher, you are automatically admitted in. Anything below that 3.0 GPA will look at your application file as a whole. We're also a test optional school too now, and moving forward, we no longer require ACT or a SAT score as well. And now moving forward, our application is free. So you can actually, if you are seniors in this group chat or this webinar today, you can actually go online and actually apply right away if you feel like. So you'll just need to turn in your online application and then submit us your official high school transcript to us. So that is a little bit about our state university at St. Cloud State. I'm just going to stop sharing here, and that we are actually going to have Elizabeth who will be joining us. She just joined in, and she will actually be going on, and she'll introduce herself as well, and she'll talk a little bit about her university.
Hi, so thank you for that introduction. I'm gonna figure out how to share my screen. I usually have more than one monitor, so I'm a little convoluted. Okay, can you see it as a PowerPoint instead of just like, okay, thank you so much. So this is Winona State University. We are kind of a medium-sized school, or medium, we affectionately refer to ourselves as, because we have about 7,000 students overall. We are down in like the boot of Minnesota, so we are right on the Mississippi River. So we are on a river town. So we also have a lot of college students in the city of Winona, because Minnesota State Southeast Community and Technical College is just 4 blocks away, and the university, or St. Mary's University of Minnesota, is a private Catholic university, which is just about 2 miles away. So there's a lot of college students in addition to the 7,000 that Winona State brings in. With that, we have over 80 different academic programs for students to choose from across our 5 academic colleges. You can really study what you're interested in. We do have 14 NCAA Division II athletic teams. All of these sporting events are free for students to attend during the regular season, as well as we have scholarships available for our student athletes. We have over 150 different student clubs and organizations. So this does include sports clubs and intramural options, Greek life, academic honorary societies, pre-professional organizations, community service groups, faith-based organizations, self and cultural identity exploration groups, and things to do just for fun as well. A really great way to kind of check out what warrior life can be like is to go to winona.edu and search student clubs. And then you can see the full drop-down menu with all of the different student clubs and organizations. And they all have a 2-minute video right next to them that just really explains what they do and gives you that sneak peek into what warrior life could be like, depending on what you're interested in. So with that, Winona State was founded in 1858. So we've been around for over 163 years. We continue to stay at the forefront of education and getting regional and national recognition. So we do have the #1 student success rate in the Minnesota state system for students overall. And we are recently voted the #1 best public institution in Minnesota by the U.S. News and World Report for 2022. In addition to that, we have some other regional accolades that I'll let you see there. But WSU really wants to focus on the undergraduate student and making sure that you're staying happy, healthy, and successful the entire time that you are with us. So a great way we do that is through our engaged faculty. So all of our classes are taught by professional faculty members. So the person who's writing the course material is the person who's teaching it to you as well. So our average class size is 19, and we have an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So it's really impossible to get lost in the back of the room. Rather, you're going to have plenty of face-to-face time with your instructors as well as your academic peers. Plus, that means you're going to have that level of support, because in addition to serving as a professor, our faculty members will serve as academic advisors. They do have to have 10 hours of open office time a week for you to go in, ask any clarifying questions, go in and maybe just say hi and start to build that professional relationship, as well as make those connections within the fields that you're studying. So at Winona State, we really have the emphasis on undergraduate education, and it allows us to provide unique opportunities for our students both on and off campus. So you can gain that unique set of skills that will help you stand out when you are doing graduate school applications, professional world applications, internships, everything like that. So some unique opportunities we have on campus. We have a KQAL, or on-campus student-run radio station. You could try your hand at being a DJ or having a talk show. We have the Winonan, our student-run newspaper and blog site. We have a variety of different music groups between band, choir, and orchestra. Our theater program puts on 8 different productions a year. So whether you wanted to be on stage or supporting behind, you can do that as well. We have a variety of different research spaces on campus, like our Cal Fremling high-tech floating classroom on the Mississippi River. We have our simulation space with our manipulable mannequins, our ComTech facility, and more. And we also have internship opportunities built into a majority of our major programs. We do have a short list there of some companies we regularly have students intern at. I do like to point out Fastenal Corporation. They do have their worldwide headquarters in Winona, Minnesota. That's a really cool connection we have with them. And down the road in Rochester is Mayo Clinic, and they are the, as you know, the #1 hospital system in the United States. but they're also the #1 hirer of all Winona State students. So that is a really cool connection that we have with them. In addition to that, we couldn't be a community of learners improving our world without getting off campus and getting out into it. We do have a lot of different study abroad opportunities for you. In a normal year, we have over 140 different study abroad options. We have 2 different ways for students to go abroad. The short-term options are 2 to 4 weeks during winter break, spring break, or summer break. For these, you can go right away during your first year's winter break. And we also have those longer-term options you might be more familiar with, which is that academic semester, the summer break, or that academic year, for those who do have to be at least a sophomore student. So as you can see, the purple pins are actual locations that our students regularly study abroad at. So there are a few in the continental United States. So sometimes you don't have to go that far, or you can go halfway around the world. It's really up to you. And as cliche as it sounds, the world is your oyster for these study abroad opportunities. So we do have one university that breaks out into those 5 different academic colleges. So I mentioned we have over 80 different undergraduate programs for students to choose from. We have our College of Business, which is AACSB accredited. That's an elite accreditation. Only about 4.5% of business programs worldwide receive. We are really excited to be teaching at that elite level. We have our College of Education, which is, we were the first state-sponsored teachers college west of the Mississippi. So that goes all the way back to our roots. We have our College of Liberal Arts. We have our College of Nursing and Health Sciences and our College of Science and Engineering as well. There are a lot of different ways that WSU supports you throughout your student experience. So college is quite a roller coaster ride, just like life is, just like high school is. We want to be there to help you if things get a little rough and tough, or whether they're smooth sailing as well. So we have a variety of resources for you to take advantage of for free throughout your student experience and as an alumni. So how do you get to be a warrior? It is an online application. The easiest way to get there is to just go to winona.edu and hit the purple apply button in the top right-hand corner. It takes about 15 minutes to go through. It is all fill in the blanks because we do not have an essay. We do have a $20 application fee. However, it is College Knowledge Month, so we waive our application fee the entire month. So now through October 31st, we have a free application. So definitely spend some time later today, or at least sometime this month, filling that out. Save yourself that $20. Then we'll need your official high school transcript to complete your application. This does have to come from your high school to be considered official. These 3 pieces round out your application at WSU. It's about a 2 to 3 week processing time before an admissions decision is made. As far as test scores go, Winona State is still test optional, so we do not require an ACT or SAT test score for students to be considered for admission or for scholarships. For admission, we are looking for students to have a cumulative high school GPA of a 3.0 or higher, or to be in the top half of your class rank. So either one of those pieces will earn you automatic admission to Winona State. If you're close or not quite there yet, we still encourage you to apply because all of our applications go through an independent review by our admissions team before that admissions decision is made. You could get that letter you're looking for when you open the mail. And if you don't, if you get that not yet letter, don't worry about it. It's not written in stone. You can supply some additional information in the form of our appeals process. So personal statement, letters of recommendation, any updated grade reports, or anything else you wish to let us know. You can put that in there and we'll look at your application more holistically. As far as how much it costs to be a student at Winona State, we are looking at a full year being about $19,454. So that breaks down to tuition and fees, which is the price of going to class. Housing and a meal plan is living and eating on campus. That number specifically can change depending on how you customize your housing package. Do you want to live in a traditional style space, a suite style space, apartment style living? Do you want no roommates, 1 roommate, as many as 4 roommates? What kind of meal plan do you want? It all comes in to adjust that number. So you have a lot of control over customizing your housing plan. And it also includes our technology program as well. So with that, don't get that sticker shock, because Winona State really wants to work with you to make sure that this investment that you're making in yourself and in your future is affordable. So when we look at our student body this year, 94% of our first year students receive some form of financial aid. When we look at our total warrior population, about 88% of them receive some form of financial aid. So we really want to make this affordable for you. So with that does come scholarships. So we have our automatic merit-based ones in the grid. Those are based off of your cumulative high school GPA. We also have our WSU Foundation, which is a separate portfolio that admitted students can apply for January 1st through March 1st. And those that gives away over $1.8 million in scholarship aid every year. Plus, we always encourage students to remember your third-party scholarships through your community, your high school, where you're working, a research, Google search. There's a lot of money just kind of hanging out there, waiting for someone like you to say, hey, I want to go to school and I don't want to pay for this. So spend some time throughout your senior year filling out those scholarship applications, because whether it's $50 from one place or $100 from another, or even that $1,000 scholarship, scholarships are gift aid, so it all adds up and you don't have to pay that back. The unique part of the student experience at Winona State is our Digital Life and Learning eWarrior program. So all students at WSU receive a laptop computer. You'll get to choose between a MacBook Pro and an HP EliteBook. You get this computer for your first 2 years, then you get a brand new, more updated one for your last 2 years. We'll give you everything you need to make that laptop work the entire time you're a student. So software, printing, tech support, but it's also your computer. So you can back your phone up to it, put stickers on it, download games, there's no app limits. You get to bring it home with you over summer and winter break. It's yours that entire time that you're a student. And then when you graduate from us after 4 years of being in the eWarrior program, you can purchase your most recent laptop, which is only 2 years old at that point, for $25. So you do have a computer going into that next chapter of your life, whether it's the professional world, graduate school, or for recreational use. With our meal plans at WSU, just a little tidbit in our housing and residence life, we do have flexible meal plan options. So our meal plans are made up of dining dollars and swipes. So the swipes are for the dining center, the dining dollars are for the food restaurants. So all of our meal plan options at WSU, whether you're eating in the food court or in the dining center, we do have special dietary options with our G8 allergen station, which regularly makes meals free of the 8 major allergens. And every station has meals daily for vegan and vegetarian diets. Plus, we do have a registered dietitian on campus. If you have any questions, are you eating a well-rounded diet, or what can you eat? You can always meet with her. So that's everything that I have for you. So my contact information is in the top left. You can feel free to reach out to me or anyone on our freshman team, or you can always just hit us up at admissions@winona.edu and we'll get your questions answered that way.
All right. Okay, so with that, we've presented on a few Minn-State institutions. Now, not all of them are a part of this panel. There are a few others, but we wanted to give you information about our specific institutions while we were here. With that, we do have some time that is left for any questions that you have. So feel free to use that Q&A feature again for any questions that you might have. It could be institution specific, or it could be more generally about the college search process or higher ed in general. We can definitely answer them with the remaining time. So we'll give you a minute to submit any questions to the Q&A. While we do, though, I think one thing that each of us three can do is put a plug out there about College Knowledge Month, which is currently happening. So as you may know, most colleges within the Minnesota state system are waiving their application fees for the entire month of October. So if you are thinking about applying to any schools within the Minnesota state system, now is the time to do it. And don't wait till the end of October. Do it now. It saves you the same amount of money this week as it would the last week, but then you have a few weeks advantage of having your application on file even earlier. So definitely submit applications to our institutions. And then very quickly, I think each one of us three can just go around and tell you about how to set up a visit at each one of our schools, because that is always the best way to learn about any college that you're looking at. So for MSUM, I included the link in the chat in case you didn't see it, but you can go to our website to set up a visit. We have campus visits Monday through Thursday at 9:30 and 1:30, and then on Fridays at 9 o'clock and 1 o'clock. So 2 times every day. And then of course, over this upcoming MEA break, the 20th through 22nd, I believe, we will be open for large visits as well. So come check us out. But I'll have St. Cloud. What are your visit opportunities over there?
Yes, thank you so much, Scott. I am plugging in my link to visit us. So we do have daily campus visits every day, Monday through Friday, twice time as well, one at 9:30 and then one at 1:30. Now, during MEE week, we actually have our special events, which is Discover Red and Black. It's going to be more for bigger groups. which you can also sign up on our webpage here as well. Which basically is a really cool event. You get the opportunity to meet with all of our college partners, as well as a resource fair, campus award tour as well. So if you're looking for an event kind of day to come and visit us, I definitely recommend to come during our Red and Black Discover Red and Black event. It is happening on the 21st through the 23rd. We also have a virtual event for our Discover Red and Black as well. So that's a little bit how you can schedule and visit us at St. Cloud State University. And then Elizabeth.
Awesome. So at Winona State University, so we have a variety of visit opportunities for you. So we are open for on-campus in-person visits. We have our daily visits Monday through Friday at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m. We also have the same program run once a month on Saturdays. And we also have virtual visits every Tuesday at 7 p.m., as well as once a month on Saturdays. Then for MEA, like Scott had mentioned, that is coming up on October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. We are having our whistle stop at Winona State. So definitely come and see us. We have a variety of tour opportunities between 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. We are asking students to RSVP in advance. So definitely go to our website. I put that link in the chat. And then you can sign up for a My Warrior Life portal, and you'll be able to sign up for all of the visits that you want at that point.
All right, perfect. All right, looks like we got one question in the Q&A that we can address very quickly here. Question is, can you tell us a little about the student organizations on campus? What kinds of organizations are there? Are they activity related, like rock climbing, cycling, co-rec sports, etc., or school class related? Yeah, great question. They are definitely a little bit of both at any institution you're looking at. MSUM has club sports, we have intramural leagues, we do have rock climbing club on campus, but then there are some that, like if you're gonna go into the medical field, we have a pre-professional club for those that are looking at getting into professional schools later on. So it's a good mix. There's faith-based groups, there's Greek life, there's all sorts of things. I'll invite our other partners on screen to join in on that one.
Definitely. Now, if you find that there's not a club organization, maybe at your campus, there's going to be many opportunities where you can actually create your own club and organization as well. We usually have what's called Main Street as well. And what Main Street is where all of our organization basically lines up outside during the first 2 weeks, where the students can actually engage and meet all the clubs and organization as well. So always check out to see what kind of events, club events that each school and university has.
Yeah, just as a final chime into that, the opportunities for student organizations are endless. So as they were saying, you can create your own. You just need a couple other students who are interested in the same thing and find a staff or faculty advisor, or you can join an established organization. So at Winona State, just for fun, we just created this year the Potato Club. So it is students who get together once a week and they eat potatoes in different forms. So I know last week was French fries, and I think this week was mashed potatoes, and next week I think is going to be like deep fried mashed potato rounds or something. But that's what they're using their budget for, is they're just buying different types of potatoes and eating them and hanging out. Or you can join an established club too, like Greek life or faith-based organizations or things like that. So it's really there's so many options for you with clubs and organizations. The hardest part is taking those 10 seconds and going, I'm putting my shoes on, I'm grabbing my keys, and I'm going out my door, and I'm going to go say hi to these people. So it's there, it's ready for you, but you just have to put your shoes on and be ready to go out there and put yourself in those situations to meet new people.
Absolutely. Well said.
Thank you, everyone. Let me share my last screen here with us. Thank you for joining us today. And when you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey, and StriveScan would appreciate any feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check out the schedule and sign up for more sessions. And remember, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other sessions recordings at strivescan.com/Minnesota. and that was in the chat as well. Thank you to everyone for a great presentation. Have a great night.